Alright, it's time for a story. And now, this story deal... What the... I can't... What's going on? I can't... Now I can. Okay. Shift was messed up. It was trying to shift click everything. Anyway, this story deal, what I'm doing here, I'm just going to play in Minecraft and telling a story. And I felt like doing this because, I don't know, some of you guys might be interested. But that's not obviously particularly why I'm doing it. I'm actually just doing it because I like to reminisce all the time. Like, just if I'm doing something that doesn't require my mind, like, say, I need to check what kind of sandstone this is. Like, say, taking a shower, or, which actually I just did take a shower, which is kind of why I'm onto this track. Or, you know, laying in bed, trying to go to sleep. I just think, just reminisce, you know? Reminisce and think. Think about stuff like, I don't know, how the world works and how the universe works and crazy shit like that. But anyway, so I figured today I will tell a story. And don't worry, it's not going to cut into Let's Play Minecraft time. That's still coming out. And it's not going to cut into tutorials or anything like that. This is just an extra video that I felt like making. I'm not sure if you guys even care to hear or anything like that. And if you don't, I suppose you probably already closed the video. So everybody who's on here, I guess you do care about hearing this kind of jibber jabber. But yeah, and then also this video sort of serves multiple purposes, that I can watch these videos back later on in my life, you know, in a couple of years, and be like, yeah, you know, remember all these things that I can talk about, because I'm planning on doing, the plan right now is to do more videos like this, story time with UltimaN3rd, for me and for you guys who are actually interested in me and not just the videos I make. Yeah, so anyway, today's story is going to be about my first PlayStation, or I guess the first console I myself ever owned. We did own a, my mum owned, well, I guess we as a family owned a Sega Master System 2, which was given to us by my auntie on my mum's side. But, you know, the first console we ever got without me just being given it. And that was a PlayStation. And now, when PlayStations came out, back when I was a kid, they were just awesome. And a couple of my friends had them, and I would go around, you know, I was always a sociable kid. Not in the sense that I'd, you know, go out and hang out with loads of people, but with my friends. I was always hanging out with my friends and everything. So I'd go around to my friends' houses, and the friends that had PlayStations, we'd always be glued to that television, playing the PlayStation, because obviously my friend thought they were awesome because they actually owned them. They wouldn't, you know, buy them, or their parents wouldn't buy them if they didn't want them. So, but I thought they were just fantastic. I was in love with PlayStations as soon as I put my hands on a controller. But Mum always said, I always said to Mum, I was moaning all the time, Mum, can we buy a PlayStation? Can we buy a PlayStation? She said, no, we're too poor. And we were too poor. We didn't come from, or I didn't come from, the type of family that can afford to just buy a game console at the snap of your fingers. So she said, if you want a PlayStation, I can't buy it, so you're just going to have to win one from a competition. So there was this show that I watched called Squirt, and that sounds really wrong, I know, but it's just a kids show. It was like a game show slash, you know, entertainment, I don't know. It was pretty cool. A lot of the kids watched it. What kind of okay, that's a sandstone. They're the same kind of sandstone. and they always had a competition, or they had competitions running since like forever, but they had a competition to win a PlayStation every week for quite some time, several months at least. And so every Saturday morning, I'd get up and I'd watch Squirt, and then Mum said, "Hey, you're gonna have to win a PlayStation." So I said, "Hey, why don't I enter into the competitions on Squirt every week? I mean, I already watched the show, and my friends have PlayStations, so I should be able to answer the questions," because the competition was answer a question, and everybody who gets it right goes into the draw. It wasn't like, do something and whoever does it best wins or anything like that. It was mostly just up to chance. So I entered in every week. I got up and watched Squirt, and it was on at like 7:30 in the morning. I was up long before then watching the religious shows. That's a bit of a sub-story for another day, I think. And yeah, got up every day, every Saturday watching Squirt, and I saw all the winners' names read out, because they had multiple winners, but only some of them won the actual PlayStation. Most of them just won other stuff. Saw the winners' names read out, and never my name. But I entered in every week. I'd fill out, or I'd write down the answer to the question that they posed, and write my name and address and all that kind of jibber jabber. And I'd send it in, or I'd give it to Mum, and she'd send it in. And to be honest, she could have, because I wouldn't have known, she could have just taken all those mails that I tried to send, and just pretended to send them, and saved herself the postage stamps. And she could have just said, "Yep, I've mailed it for you, Nick," and I would have just believed her without a second thought. But she actually did mail every single one, as far as I know. And then one Saturday, I woke up a little late, or just too late to see Squirt. And I didn't use an alarm clock. I mean, I was a morning person as a kid, so I woke up naturally very early. And actually, I have another story about that, Christmas-related story about that, to tell it another time. But yeah, so one morning I woke up late, missed Squirt, and I was like, "Oh man!" So I'm not going to be able to enter this week, and I could have missed out on my opportunity to win a PlayStation. But the rest of that week was fairly normal. I went to school every day and all that. But then on Wednesday, Mum came into my classroom. We were doing some math work. Mrs. Meads was my teacher. Obviously, none of you probably know her, but she was a primary school teacher in New Zealand. I don't know if she still teaches, but anyway, she was actually a pretty damn good teacher. That will be another sub-story for another day as well. Anyway, so she came in and she said, "Nick, a parcel's arrived for you in the mail." I said, "What is it?" She said, "I don't know, I didn't open it, but it's got the PlayStation logo on it." I said, "Oh, hey, really?" And she was like, yep, it's got the PlayStation logo on it. Might be a PlayStation." And I was just in total disbelief. I was like, "No way, after all this time, it can't be, there must be a mistake." 'Cause she was sort of like, "I think it has the PlayStation logo on it," sort of thing. And so I was like, "Oh no, she's probably just mistaken. I don't think I've actually won a PlayStation." But she said, "Do you want to come home now?" And I was like, "Yes." And so she said, "Mrs. Meads, Nick's got a doctor's appointment he needs to get to." She was like, okay, you can take him home." So we went home, and I went home and I saw the parcel, and it did indeed have the PlayStation logo on it. I opened it up, and there it was, the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. My very own PlayStation 1, and it was just an amazing moment for me as a kid, because the only other console we ever had, as I said, was a Master System 2, and that was given to us, and it wasn't even mine. It was Mum's / the family's, so that was lame. But yeah, my very own PlayStation just for me, and it just warmed my heart to see it there. After unwrapping, and peaceful, just so you know that I'm not going to be creeped. But yeah, so it came with the one game, Wild Arms, which is to this day one of my favorite games ever made, and obviously one of my favorite RPGs if it's one of my favorite games. And I'll probably be doing a Let's Play on that eventually. But I played that, and then we got some demo discs in the mail, and I played the games on those, and you know, got demos of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Spyro and Crash Bandicoot and all that. And then Mum sort of, you know, she saw the look on my face when I was playing on that PlayStation, so she said, well, you know, we couldn't afford to buy the PlayStation, but at least we can afford to get you some games for it. So she did. She bought me Spyro and Crash and Croc, and lots of other good games as well, over time, of course, not all at once, and mostly Christmas and birthday presents, but she did buy me a couple of games pretty quickly after I got the PlayStation. And so I'd play them, and then she would play with me, just like back in the day when we used to play Sega. And yeah, I just really love the PlayStation. But that's pretty much the end of that little portion of the story. Now on to the next portion. The next portion, of course, would be when the PlayStation 2 came around, where you'd be wondering, oh, what happened? You know, you couldn't afford the PlayStation 1, you had to win that. So, did you manage to get a PlayStation 2? And yes, I did. And the way I got one, well, I knew before the PlayStation 2 came out, when it was coming out, because I'd looked it up on Google. I was already a little bit of a computer kid, you know, being a nerd. And so I knew when they were coming out, and I saved up all my pocket money all that time, and it was, you know, shit all pocket money, obviously, because being a family that couldn't even afford a gaming console, didn't get much pocket money. But I saved it all up, and when PlayStation 2 came out, sold the PlayStation 1, or my mum sold it for me on Trade Me, which is New Zealand's auction site. It's like eBay for New Zealand, and we sold that, and with that money and the money that I had saved up, I bought myself a PlayStation 2, and that was freaking awesome. And even then, we couldn't afford to buy many games for it, though. But the first Christmas after I got my PlayStation 2 must have been the best Christmas ever, and probably the most impactful Christmas, or maybe even event of my gaming life, because that's what really got me into RPGs and what really familiarized me with RPGs. Because before, you know, as I said, I played Wild Arms before, because that was the game I originally got with the PlayStation, but I didn't even know that it was an RPG. You know, I didn't understand what game genres even were, because I was just a little kid. But I was something like 10 or 12 years old when I got the PlayStation 2. So yeah, I understood what was going on by that time, and that Christmas, I just said all I want is games. I want games for my PlayStation. So that's what Mum got me. So she knows how to. She knows when you're saying what you want, and when you're not. You know, when you're messing about. I wasn't messing about. So she bought me just amazing games. She just went up to a clerk in the warehouse and said, "What are all the boys playing these days?" And the clerk told her, "Well, they're all playing this and that, and yada yada." Luckily, the clerk didn't just bullshit and try to sell her the most expensive games, although they probably were the most expensive games. They were also the best. And so the games I got for Christmas were, and actually I have more stories about this Christmas as well, that'll actually be quite interesting, I think. But for this portion of the Christmas, games she bought me were Kingdom Hearts, which was, well, that's got to be my favorite game of all time. So, you know, that was a damn good buy. And Final Fantasy X, and I had played Final Fantasy 8 and 7 a little bit, sort of at my friend's house, just touched them a little bit, but you know, I never really played them long enough to even know what game I was playing. But yeah, she got me Final Fantasy X, Kingdom Hearts, and I love them. I love them to bits. They were just amazing. And we family went on holiday to the beach. Took the caravan that my parents had bought a while ago, and we went to a caravan site that had power. And I didn't go play in the sand, and well, I did a bit. You know, with my family, I went and played in the sand and swam and all that kind of thing. But mostly, I I was just on the PlayStation 2, inside the caravan on my little TV. It wasn't mine, it was my family's. Just playing the PlayStation that whole Christmas, that whole time for like weeks, and I finished Kingdom Hearts while we were on holiday, like, because that we had Christmas on holiday. We opened all the presents while we were on holiday, and in that time I completed Kingdom Hearts and I got into Final Fantasy X, although I still have yet to complete that game. So, but I'll let's play that eventually and I'll finish it then. But yeah, that was just an awesome Christmas, and I guess that was when I really got into gaming. Because I mean, PlayStation 1 is what got me into gaming in the first place, but I wasn't like a hardcore gamer, I just liked to game. But now, after I got the PS2, that was when I really became a gamer. And it always just puts a smile on my face, just thinking back then to the emotions that gaming brought to me, and it's, you know, it made me so happy. And then Mum playing with me, it was good times. So anyway, that is going to round it off for this story. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, obviously, just don't bother checking out my other stories when I put them up. But hopefully, it was a little bit educational, a little bit entertaining, and yeah. So, if you enjoyed this video, hit like. If you want to enjoy more, subscribe. Check out facebook.com/UltimaNRD and TV/UltimaNRD. Links are in the description. Look forward to more stories. Till next time.